Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. I'm just moving this back a teensy bit. It's a little more centered. There we go. All right. Let's see. Hi, Eskies and Brooke and Blue Skies and Landscape and Sonia. Oh gosh, I already got a frog in my throat. My camera likes to always get just a wee bit crooked and it annoys me. All right. So, hi, Mona. Okay, so as well, not everyone, but some of you know, there is a 2 weeks with Kerby event going on, and it's hosted by Shannon. And so I am actually participating, and I rarely color in Kerby books, believe it or not. Hi, Sherry, Tamara, Love for Vlogs, and Michelle, Crafty Chemist, and Marcy and Carol. Hi. If I miss anyone, because people come in quick. So yeah, she has this 2 week event with all things Kerby. So I have a bunch of Kerby books, but I don't really use them because it intimidates me more than anything. Just his artwork. So I decided, I'm going to participate in this event. My Kerby books will get some love for once. So I was pretty excited about that. And I used to think that my favorite book from him was Worlds Within Worlds, but then I started doing some pages or going through and picking pages, and I ended up finding that I really like Mythomorphia. So I am working on what I like to call Tree Man today. I know he has an official name in the back of the book. I've already started this one over here. This one's with Inktense as well. Hi, Dawn, Erica, and Elise, and Catio. I probably said that wrong. So yeah, I've already started this one with Inktense. Oh gosh, I've got a frog in my throat. Excuse me. I just need to do the background. So with this one, the only real hidden object was this card. So I'm actually just going to cover it up, pretend it never existed. So we'll see how that goes. Oh man, cough. It's my allergies. So yeah, I've already started this one with Inktense, and then I'm working on this one right now. So this is with Prismacolor, just because I didn't want to sit and hassle with my Inktense too much on this one, but I wish it would show on camera. There's a lot of green in here too, but I think this one's going to turn out really well. It's just tedious. I'm like, oh, am I done yet? I'm using 6 colors inside here. I know it doesn't look that way, but it is. So yeah, I need to put this back in here so it doesn't rub off. So yep, I do have a few going in this book. I really like this one. I honestly wish he would re-release this without the hidden objects. That would be so nice of him. But we're going to work on this one today, which really doesn't have much for hidden objects. Nothing quirky, like a cell phone in the corner. So there will be a giveaway. The lovely Nightbot will tell you the prompt, and it's just going to be random. So I'll probably run it maybe mid-ish way through the stream. Now, I know some people will be upset, if they didn't catch the stream, they didn't get to participate, but don't worry, I'll do other giveaways. You guys know I always do. It's just easier this way. And so we will do basically the prompt. You just type it once. Don't type it a bunch of times, because otherwise you might get spammed out. But the prompt is just Tree Man. And like I said, Nightbot will show you. So if you see Nightbot pop up, just enter that. And then as long as you're still in the stream, when Nightbot pulls you, you'll be the winner. But if you've left, then unfortunately it goes to the next person, just because I need the person here so that we can get their info. But all right, I guess I'll get coloring. So I am using Inktense here, and Instead of a water brush, I did this other one here with a water brush, and it takes fine to water. It's not that crinkly. But I want to use my Tombos instead. So these are just the Tombow colorless blenders. I have 3 of them because sometimes they get stained pretty quickly compared to alcohol blenders. So I'm going to be using those today. And I'm going for like an unconventional look here. Goodness gracious. I kind of looked up a few ideas how some have done this one. And I really don't want him to be like brown, like a tree. So his main colors are going to be greens, but they're going to be like a nice dark tealish kind of green. And then I'm going to kind of mix in some purples. Here I have like a really crappy test swatch, but it was because I was making sure they would dissolve. But we've got like tealish greens. I'm going to do some dark blues and light blues and then some purples. So the leaves are going to just be untraditional colors. And then Mr. Tree Man is going to be green. So I think, what's his official name in the back here? Who knows? I call him Tree Man because that's what works. But if you want his official name, oh my gosh, it's Green Man. But yeah, I like Tree Man better. So, all right. Gosh, I'm gonna have to have one of the minions, aka my children, bring me a cough drop. Let me see if water helps. I wasn't coughing this morning, but allergies. All right, I'll zoom you guys in a wee bit. No, Jamaican Hippie, you guys can enter it now. All I meant was Nightbot will pop up and let you know what you need to type it in. But you're more than welcome to type it in now. Just like I said, you have to be in stream when Nightbot decides the winner. Oh my gosh, there we go. So that's the only thing. But you can type it in at any time. Just don't spam it. I did set it to block those. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm using, did I tell you what colors I was using? In case I didn't. I didn't sleep well last night, so this is going to be a fun stream. I should have had a coffee next to me. Ooh, maybe I'll have my daughter bring me a latte. All right, I'm using iron green, mallard green, and teal green so far for Mr. Tree Man here. So it's really hard in some places to tell like what's branch and what's not. But you know what? It's fine. We're just gonna do whatever. If I end up accidentally covering something up, it's now Tree Man. Yes, Lisa, I want the new colors so bad. I need to move to the UK because clearly the products I like when they release just to go there first. But yeah, I am excited for the new colors. I see that there's greens in the new colors, some more browns. So I'm really excited to get my hands on those. And I know some of the colors are an awful lot alike, I've heard, but I have full set syndrome and I love my Inktense. So yeah, I'm going to buy them anyway. So, can't really dissuade me there. Hi, Tanya, Emily. Let's see. Oh, Little Pickle. I haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, if I miss anyone coming in, sorry, y'all. It moves super quick. I try my best. So now I'm going in with my mallard green here. I did pre-test on the back. Now, before you use Inktense, especially with alcohol markers or water-based blenders like the Tombow I've got going on, test it somewhere in your book that's not like a page you care about. Because I had to test to see if these would bleed through. I was originally going to do my alcohol marker method, and then I was like, nah, I don't want to do that now. So... But I had to test it this morning because I was like, oh crap, I didn't even test this. Worst case scenario, I have to break out my water brush. I just didn't feel like doing a water brush today. And I really like the way they activate with Tombows. Let's see. Yeah, so it's just 28 new colors if you already have the 72 count set. So 100 total. I like how I say just 100. That's a lot of pencils, especially because you can mix these on a palette. Granted, you got to use them up right away because they will not reactivate. But I'm kind of curious with the new colors they're releasing if they're going to also release more palettes. That'd be interesting. And then also, does anyone know? Because I'm honestly just too lazy to even research it. Are they going to make more Inktense blocks that also cover the new colors? Or have they? Because that would be kind of interesting. Hello, Melissa, MPJB. Anytime I look up, I'm like, oh, I see some people. So I am going to leave some white space on this one because quite a few of you have seen me work with the alcohol colorless blenders. Now, those don't drag the color as much. Now, the Tombow does drag the color. So I'm going to leave a little white space to drag my color in and just kind of create a natural highlight. But just FYI there, because you want to be a little more cautious, whereas the alcohol blender barely drags it. I should really do a comparison video. Let me just tack that onto the pile of things I need to record. Let's see. I want it dark in here. I want it dark in here. Man, Mr. Tree Man is all sorts of entwined, isn't he? Oh, Aisha, hello. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know what that little circle thing is, but we're going to treat it like it wasn't part of that. You know, my iron green is being kind of... I took a bunch of color off the tip the other day. I might need to sharpen it down a little and get her back moving. We'll see. Let's activate some of these. Okay, so when I'm using a Tombow to activate, I try to start with my lighter colors first and then blend into the dark. So if you're like me and you kind of like forget where you had started with light versus dark, then don't fill in a ton of spaces at once. But like I said, the Tombow will drag your color, so you want to be aware of that. See, like I'm dragging it there, dragging this darker part down into here. Does make it nice though, because then it works kind of like the water brush and they stay nice and vibrant, but then you don't have to sit there and stress yourself out over water control. Such a pesky thing to stress over, but you have to when you're using these types of pencils. Hopefully, I like this color palette. We'll see. Yeah, I think this will work just fine. Nice thing is, I can always pull out my white pen to add some more highlights. All right, let's keep on going. Let's see. Lurking and organizing buddy colors. Ooh, I'm so bad at buddy colors. Just ask anyone here who's done a buddy color with me. I think it's like once I have the request to do the buddy color, suddenly I'm like, yeah, now I'm being forced to do it. But I'm not, because I'm like, I want to, but I don't know, it's all mental. Gets in my head. Let's see. I want him to be a little gnarly. Get some good old knots in there, but I still want to define some shadows. I may bring out my black too, we'll see. Oh, cleaning and chores. Yes, so my kids, they have weekend chores, and they were told, you have all weekend. You can wait till Sunday if you want. And granted, give them the choice. They wait till Sunday. So my son's washing like 3 of our dogs today. My daughter's mopping and vacuuming all the floors, and I'm like, okay, you chose it, not me. Let's see. Hi Debbie and May. And did I miss anyone? Oh, there's Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Shannon is hosting the 2 weeks with Kerby. Anytime I type down the hashtag, I just put the number 2, and then I'm like, I need to spell this. But yes, she has forced me to work in a Kerby book, and now I'm actually like, I really want to finish this book, and that's why I'm giving away a copy of this book. So, all right. I think I just want a little bit right here because I want to drag that out a little. I am overlapping these a teensy bit where I want the colors to overlap. Might even add, no, I don't want to go yellow. I'm trying to keep this really dark. For some reason, all his pages in this book, I just want everything dark. All right. Goodness gracious, you guys are typing way too fast for my little eyes. Let me see. Oh, did I miss Emma? Actually, I'm in the doghouse with Emma because I missed her premiere, okay? I got stuck taking a kiddo to a birthday party, and then I was like, oh, you know what? While I'm out, I should drive all the way out to my P.O. box. And so by the time I got back, her thing was over, and I was like, oh, crap. So I'm actually in the doghouse with her. I'm sorry, Emma. Yeah, I haven't checked my P.O. box in, I guess, like 2 months because there was a whole bunch of stuff in there. I literally, like, the guy had a box sitting behind the counter because my box was too full. I was like, sorry. I need to get out there more. But, like, you know how you have a, like, task? And you're like, no, I'll put it off till next week. And then it's, like, suddenly months later, and you're like, oh, crap. That's kind of how that went down. So, yeah, there's a bunch of goodies in there. I've got to see what they are. I'm liking this color. I think so. I wasn't staying. I was just dropping her off. But I mean, I stayed for a minute to chat with a mom, as we all moms do, I guess. But then I was like, hey, I'm all the way out here, and it was like right next to my P.O. box. Oops, wrong color. So that's why I went over there, and then oops. It's an interesting Saturday. And then my son had a soccer game last night. Oh my gosh. I socialized. Yeah, I socialized. It was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I shouldn't socialize. But no, I did socialize. But we went to my son's soccer game last night, and holy crap, it was the most violent, insane game I've ever seen. And I wish I was like joking, but like I was on the edge of my seat the entire game. And this other team was like playing dirty, like shoving and cleating people. If you're not familiar with soccer, then some of these things might not make sense. But there's this thing called a slide tackle, which you have to be really strategic about doing because you can get flagged for it. Our team one of our players did a slide tackle, but it was a legal one. He wasn't slide tackling just to, take someone out. He was slide tackling to get the ball. And so that upset the other team because they felt it should have been flagged. And so then they started just playing dirty. And oh my gosh, these kids were nuts. Like they were shoving. Like one of our players had a breakaway. He had the ball hauling butt. He would have scored, but then the kid came right behind him, cleated him in the back of his leg. So he's got a big scratch mark from the cleats, and then body checked him. And then the ref only gives the kid a yellow card, which is basically a warning. But I'm like, what? That kid needed to be red carded. But yeah, it was a nuts game. Like it was it was 2-1. My son's team won. But holy crap, like that last 10 minutes was just ball back and forth. Whew, I was like exhausted just from like constantly being tense while watching it. Like my son got plowed several times, like just knocked over, cleated. He's got a huge scratch on one of his thighs from being cleated. Because apparently it's cool to have chrome bottom cleats now, and he got nailed by someone with chrome bottom cleats. So guess what cleats he wants now? Chrome. Hi, Debbie. Oh, no, I already said hi to Debbie. Let's see. Um, it'll just get worse as he gets older. Yeah, it is. I know. It is I mean, I knew soccer was a violent game. I mean, I've watched it professionally, and then after being introduced to um, the indoor soccer world, I'm pretty much immune now. Yeah, slide tackles are normal, but like you got to be careful when you do them because otherwise it can be an illegal move and you get fouled, or you can do it just right and totally take the ball from someone. But yeah, it was quite the game. I mean, I can't tell you how many times the ball was just bouncing constantly in the air off of people's heads. Like it's just like, and seriously, the whole last 10 minutes was just back and forth, back and forth. Oh my gosh, I was like, please don't score, please don't score. It was nuts. It was nuts. But yeah, it was a good game, and I'm glad they won. My son had a good breakaway and almost scored, but then he got cleated in the back and they yellow carded the kid, but that really didn't. He was like ticked because he's like, I should have scored. Well, run faster next time so they can't catch up to you and cleat you. He didn't like my response. But I was like, well, that's a good way to avoid getting cleated if they can't catch you. Let's see. Just trying to get these colors in. Some of these leaves, I'll debate how to handle those in a minute. Now, the one thing with a Tombow, I should warn you guys, is if you use a Tombow, it doesn't dry as quickly as the alcohol marker because the alcohol evaporates. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that. Your Tombow, like right here, this is still damp. I can't go back over it right now. Unlike the alcohol marker where I would have been able to go over it right away. So that's just one drawback, but they do tend to have a little bit more vibrancy. And then, like I said, you can drag your colors. But the payoff, or I guess the trade-off, I should say, is they do not dry as quickly. But I got my little Ranger heat tool nearby in case I need to go over a spot. But it's not like so wet as if you used a water brush. So like you can still put your hand over it and it's not gonna like get that way. But it is still pretty wet. I'll drag that out. You're putting paint thinner in a Copic marker? I wouldn't really put paint thinner in a Copic marker. Are you talking like just put alcohol in the Copic marker? Or are you joking? Paint thinner is like highly toxic and flammable, so that's why I'm asking on that one, because you'll get really sick just inhaling that in the same room. Not to mention just oof. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Ambient. Sherry, so I did this other page here with the water brush, and it's really not warped bad at all. I'm going to use Neo Colors for background though, so I'll let you know if it ends up warping there because that's going to be a lot more water. But so far they take water pretty well. And then of course you can always just like flatten it back out, putting it on some heavy stuff on it. Or if you got the patience and you own an iron, I don't anymore, but you could iron it out. So yeah, I mean, it takes water pretty well. I still wouldn't put OMS in a Copic or any empty like you don't need OMS either with Inktense. Like seriously, just get some cheap colorless blender alcohol markers. Like Ohuhu has like a pack of 6 or something for like not even $9. It's really cheap. And go that route, or just put rubbing alcohol into your marker. Um, but I wouldn't use OMS either because they really don't need it. I save my OMS for like actual blending of pencils rather than like water soluble or activating a pencil. That's just me though. That's just one girl's advice. Yeah, Lisa, I color the picture first, and then that's why half the time my pages never end up with backgrounds because I'm like, I'm gonna ruin it. I need to start. Maybe that'll be like my challenge for May. I swear I have deja vu that I've said this before, but I need to make like a challenge for myself of doing the background first. But a lot of times I have no idea what the background's gonna be. So that's kind of where I'm like, I don't know. So it'd probably be better if I had a plan. Sometimes, like, I have a kind of a little bit of an idea, but other times I'm like, I really have no idea where this page is going. So I feel like if I do a background and then I'm like, oh shoot, I don't want to color to match this. I don't know. I struggle with backgrounds. I admit it, and I'm too lazy to fix it right now. So, but I already know what the background is going to be for that other one. Hi, Bonnie. Let's see. I have all backgrounds, no finished pages. That's funny. uh, let's see. Yeah, there's like, I think the thing is I kind of psych myself out, especially because I'll see some of the most beautiful backgrounds done by people. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then there's other times where like I'll do a portrait or something and I'm like, I've spent like hours on this portrait and I just feel like I would not be doing it justice because it looks fine as it is. But I don't know if that's me just making excuses for myself or it really is fine. It's a mystery. All right. Let's see. This is the tricky part because it's like when I look at this page from far away, I can totally see everything. But then when I'm all like nose up in front of it, yeah, then I'm not so good there. I'm like, I swear that's a tree trunk. Get that down there. Nice thing about the Tombow too is because it doesn't dry as fast as say the alcohol marker, you have a little bit more time to like adjust some of the color, wiggle it wherever you want to wiggle it. All those lovely things. Let's see. I don't have the blocks. I've been thinking of getting them, but honestly, I don't know how often I would actually use them because I really like the pencils because I like to be able to just place it down on the paper. So there'll be one of those things maybe I get. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not in any hurry. I do like the palettes though for those occasional like art pieces, but it's kind of the same thing as the blocks. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I say let's see, I say first and my current page, I haven't done the background yet. See, sometimes it's hard to say. Hi, Jen. Sorry if I missed you when you snuck in. I'm looking down and then I'm like, anytime I look up, I'll see like one person's comment and then it's gone by the time I go back to it. So I'm like, ah. And I don't want to scroll because then I'll really lose. I'll be going down one heck of a rabbit hole. All right. And the Tombow, because I know I've warned you guys with the alcohol marker, how it soaks up a lot of color and can dull out your color if you use it too much. The Tombow is a little different. It does still soak up the color. Like, see my nib? But it's not as bad where the alcohol marker literally like sucks up all the color. I'm gonna get this part activated at the bottom and then drag it up. Without accidentally hitting that dark green in there. But yeah, it will stay wet. So like I could activate this green here and then come back and then activate the color on top of it and blend them together. So you get softer lines, but the only reason I tend to prefer the alcohol markers is because they activate still beautifully and then they dry quickly. So I can go back over or like, move on to something else without having to wait for something to dry. I hate watching paint dry. Or in this case, ink. Don't want to watch the ink dry. All right. I've actually never used the Tombow blender with my Tombows. Is anyone else? I'm just curious. It's similar to like alcohol marker blenders. I don't actually ever use them with my alcohol markers. I'm curious if anyone uses the Tombow blender with their Tombows. Gotta clean off that nib. I need to hit that B in nib. Use them quite a lot. So what do you actually use them just to blend? I'm just curious, like, because I've never bothered to use them, so I'm always curious how people use them. Let's see. Yes, you can enter the giveaway at any time. Just put in the prompt, and then, like I said, about halfway through, we'll kind of stop and let it roll. And just as long as you're still in chat when it rolls, you are the winner. All right. My dust bunnies are the size of T-Rex. Oh my gosh, so are some of mine. So, yeah, I was gonna ask, like, do you notice if they pill your paper? Because, like, if I go over this too much while it's wet, this is gonna start pilling. Whereas with like the alcohol marker, it wouldn't. So I'm always curious about that. Nothing worse than your paper pilling. Not peeling, pilling. Gosh, that's so hard to say sometimes. I'm gonna make his lip go down here. He's gonna have green lips because he's a tree man. And he doesn't really need makeup because he's a tree man. Get some lines. All right. Okay, yeah, so only a few. I kind of figured, yeah, because these are pretty juicy and water-based, so they don't dry or evaporate like the alcohol marker. So you have to deal with the issue of pilling, which is the worst. Once your paper pills, well, not much you can do other than stop touching it. Leave it alone. Let it dry. And even once it dries, just let it be. I didn't pre-treat this with like any ground or anything like that because, like I said, I used a water brush on the other page and it did just fine. But if you want to pre-treat it, there's always like that Daniel Smith one, which I have and I rarely use, but probably should. But yeah. All right, let's see how that one. No, you can use the alcohol blender on here. In fact, I tested it in the back of the book. Here, one sec, I'll show you. At least on the Kerby books. So these ones here are all activated with the alcohol marker, the clear or colorless alcohol marker. And see, they didn't bleed through. So as long as you're in the Kerby book, you're fine. I haven't tested it on others, but yep, no bleed through there. I just wanted to do the Tombows today because I haven't done it in a long time. And I've also had a few requests. And I like the way it looks. So, but again, I just have to be patient and wait for my color to dry. But yeah, it didn't bleed on here. And I went over and over the layers pretty well with the alcohol blender and it worked just fine. Okay, let's see. Oh, no, I didn't activate that in there. I do like that this nib is smaller, easier to get into some of these like little crevices and stuff. Hi, Nanamo. All right. So I on Amazon CreateSpace paper, the alcohol marker works okay. But the problem is the CreateSpace paper is so rough that when you actually put down your pigment with a pencil, the lines don't dissolve as well. So just keep that in mind. A very rough paper, it may not dissolve. So like you'll have some lines left over. Even with light pressure, it's just that nasty consistency of the paper that's causing it. I think that's all. Okay, then he's got like a little beard, but these parts here are going to be green. I think that's we're going to say that's right there. And that, I'm going to just fade that one in. Yes, I'm semi-tagging myself, but I'm trying to identify what is Tree Man and what is not. All right. I'm curious on some of these leaf colors, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see how that one works. An idea to write to Arteza and let them know what happened. What happened? I must have missed that. Anytime I've written to Arteza, they don't respond. So they respond to some though. They're probably like, oh, she doesn't like our markers. Well, actually, I like their markers. I don't like their other products though, but they're probably like, oh, she doesn't like our stuff. We're not going to reply to her. Only thing about their markers is I did reach out to them and say, hey, could we not release markers this way? Just, just a thought. Could be a little more creative. On Arteza paper, their watercolor pencil should work on Arteza paper, but not like Amazon CreateSpace paper, because I've actually used it on Arteza paper before, because I have Arteza watercolor paper, and I've had them dissolve on there. Let's see, we got some. Okay, I'm gonna say that's a leaf. We got tree coming down here. Only reason this page is gonna take forever, like I'm working with Inktense, which is a faster medium, but it's gonna take me forever because I'm gonna constantly be like tree, leaf, maybe. I don't know. So that's what's gonna hold me up. I'm like, what is this? All right. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Do I use watercolor paper in my printer to print out a PDF? Sometimes. But the paper I prefer to use won't go through my printer. So like I'll use cheaper watercolor paper, I should say, but anything 100% cotton definitely gets stuck. And that's what I want to use is 100% cotton. So I'm like, oh. But yeah, I mean, even through the manual feeder, sometimes you can just hear it like make that loud noise and you're like, oh crap, this is the day I break my printer. But then it works out and you're fine. So guess it just depends. Let's see. This is definitely part of him down here. Actually, I want this darker color in at the bottom first. Kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones, like the Three-Eyed Raven where the tree just grew around him. This is what he would have looked like if, he didn't move on. He'd just become a tree person. I don't know why this page is so cool looking. It's cool. Yes, it really does take a minute to decode the page. And then another minute because you'll be like, all right, I get it. I'm on a good path. Oh, shoot. Now I got to figure out what this is. And then we got a whole mess up here. And then sometimes Kerby's artwork, you'll be like, oh, there's no hidden objects. And then you'll start coloring and like you'll randomly run into a freaking tea kettle. And you're like, okay, never mind. There are indeed hidden objects here. So I was working on my other page the other day and I just randomly ran into a goblet. And I was like, oh, shoot, where'd you come from? I'm trying to think of how to get around that goblet because I don't want it there. I think it was Erica that did a video on what she does with the hidden objects and all these types of books. You can tell me if I'm wrong, Erica, but I thought that was you. It was a while back. Or maybe it was a few months ago. I don't know. Time flies. Don't want to get the butterflies. Fabriano Artistico. I haven't tried that one. Ugh. I honestly haven't tried that paper. I'm addicted right now to my Etcher cold press sketchbook. So I just love that thing. It is not very expensive for what you get. It's not really for adult coloring though. It's not like you're going to go tear out pages for your adult coloring, but for art, it's just awesome. Absolutely love the Etcher. Everything else made by Etcher is ridiculously overpriced though. Like their palettes, their paints. Like, come on, guys. You were doing so good with this, like, real high quality sketchbook. Why do we have to go back? Okay, I'm just trying to fill in like a bigger chunk so I can activate a wee bit bigger. And I do have like a plastic sheet behind this, but I didn't tape it down, so I have to be really careful on the edges that I don't accidentally hit the page behind it. Okay, almost done with this part, and then I'll activate this one. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that mini palette, the mini palette is actually really cute. Oh, come on, camera. Let me move up here a little. It's just so expensive. I looked it up and I was like, yeah, I own enough palettes. And I got like a pretty affordable one on Jackson's. So I was like, I'm good. But it is really cute and it would be great for like travel and all that. I just can't justify the price of that thing. It's definitely like one of those novelty things. Then I know they have some like metallic paints and whatnot, but I'm not bothering with those because they're really expensive and I have enough metallics in my collection. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but I do have like different shades of teal in some of these shadows, so it's not just like the dark only. And then just like with the alcohol marker, you do need to clean your brush off. Like if you start noticing like a color is just sticking and like going everywhere and you don't want it to, then just wipe it off on a like scratch paper next to you. But you do have to like wipe these off a little bit more than the alcohol markers, I've noticed, just because I think it's the water. Could be the nib too, I don't know. Like, did I color that section? I don't know. I'll just go over it and see if it gets brighter. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna drag that in there a little. Yeah, like if you don't want to layer these, you could literally just use one color and drag it out and create your own highlight and call it a day because the Tombow will drag it pretty far. The alcohol marker, you can't. Okay, I think that's everything on that one. Oh, look at that, like little intertwined craziness. Oh, the Tombow. I used to do the Tombow more than the alcohol marker. And then I swapped to the alcohol marker because it was a little bit friendlier for certain types of pages. I'm going to sharpen this. Not that I want to, but yeah, like certain pages, less like crumples. There we go. Good old doll. Let's see. I have the blues. I'm debating. I think his eyes would look really cool. The Tombows are, I don't know, because like you can use any colorless alcohol marker to do your blending. And so like I said, the other day I found like a 6-pack or something of Ohuhu's really cheap. Whereas the Tombow colorless can sometimes be a little bit more expensive. So it just kind of depends at the time what you're shopping for. But yeah, there's days they could be cheaper. I don't remember. I think I bought these. Yeah, because you can buy the Tombow in a 3-pack. That's what it was. I'm trying to remember how I even got these things. All right. I'm debating if I want to make his eyes blue or keep with the green. So I've got some purples and pinkish colors. Let's see, because I think, yeah, that's tree. These big leaves up here. I just have to be careful with where I place my colors so that it's not all off balance. So, there's nothing worse than like creating a page and being like, oh, it's all off balance. My colors are all wonky. Or at least that's how I feel. Okay. These are like his mean little eyebrows. Like he's scowling. I think you'd be happy. He's a tree man. Leaf. Okay. Amber or honey colored. Always a possibility. Probably leave his eyes for later because I have colors out for my leaves and all that, but I haven't really picked colors for his eyes. Bye, Pickle. Thanks for coming. I keep forgetting I have my Tombos too, like the actual markers, not just the blenders. And then, like, for example, I was watching Erica's premiere yesterday, and she was like basing with Tombos, and I was like, I own those. Should use those. It's a bad sign. It's just I don't use water-based markers as often, I guess, is part of the issue. Because I'm like, I don't know. I tend to lean towards my alcohol ones instead, but I really should use those for basing because it looks like it saves so much time. Let's see. I know they are pretty handy. I just I don't know. Right. Hi, Claire. Ooh, already got the new Inktense. They send them to Australia, but they won't send them to the US. Cool. So unfair. I'm like, come on, ship it here. They gotta release them out here soon. That's crazy though. Yeah, like the Derwent site, like won't. If you go to the Derwent UK one, like the US isn't even an option for a country to ship to. We don't exist on that site. Which is sad. But that's nuts. They'll ship all the way to Australia. It was shipping pretty steep to ship them out there. Drag that one in there. I can always go back over it later. There we go. So on these parts right here, I'm just kind of dragging the color out. Might have to go back over it in a minute. Has anyone ever actually used the Derwent Inktense Chinese, what is it, Chinese white? I have not. I should, but I have not. I'm debating if I'll try using it for some highlights. Let's see. To ship with FedEx. Well, hopefully they come here soon. Let's just try it because I want to touch up his lips a little. I really want to get those colors, but they're going to be so expensive when they first come out. Like, I know it. And then, like, a couple months from now, you'll be like, oh, they're somewhat reasonable. But it's all right. Whatever. I've already just accepted the fact I'm going to spend on them. But I do use my Inktense frequently, so I guess I can use that to justify it. Maybe. Blended with other colors. Oh, okay. I see. To make your highlights. I may. Where the heck is my white? It's antique white, by the way, with Inktense. I always say Chinese white because that's usually what they go with, but I might try and put it, because it's a pretty opaque one, I might pull it right off the top with a water brush and create some highlights. But yeah, I've honestly never really used it because I just figure, well, I can just use a white gel pen or a Posca, call it a day. Okay. I don't even know how to use it. I mean, I technically don't know how to use the white one to its full potential because I've never tried. You won't know till you try. And I'm kind of saying that to myself because I don't know how to use it either. Let's see. Don't worry, the whole stream won't be green or teal. I'll start adding some purples and stuff here soon. I'm just kind of thinking ahead in my head which kinds I want. Purple-ish versus the blues. I pulled out some blues just to help kind of pull some of this and make this stand out, but I don't want to use them a ton. I really want most of the flowers to be like the purple and pink shade I picked out. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it was FedEx or nothing when you had them shipped. I'm trying to think. When I ordered from the Derwent US site back when ChromaFlow first came out, because I was so excited to try ChromaFlow, and then I was really upset because paid all that money, and I'm like, this feels like a flop. But I can't remember if I really had a choice for shipping or not. I'm trying to remember now. I'm pretty sure mine came FedEx. All I know is I overpaid for those things. You live and you learn. But I had bought those thinking I would just love them, and then the more I used them, I was like, I do not love these at all. There's no love here. Oh, yeah, that is true, huh? Because the ChromaFlow came out here first, even though they were manufactured out in the UK. They're like, sorry, folks. But I think honestly they had picked us because I don't know. It's more a pencil that we would use, you know? As for me, I'm lazy. I just want to smush colors together and call it a day. Let's see. But yeah, the ChromaFlow didn't let me do that. So then I was like, well, these suck. And they just felt cheap. They honestly felt very cheaply made. Compared to other Derwent products, like you pick up a Derwent product and you're like, oh, this is so well made. But when I picked up the ChromaFlow, I was like, so who made this? It did not feel like Derwent quality. Wait, I don't want to put that there. Almost accidentally covered up a leaf. Okay. Yeah, they were skinny, which bummed me out because I really like the chunky monkey style of all the Derwent pencils. I find them easier to hold. I don't know. They're just fun. But these ones are like skinny, and then the color payout, I was like, what the heck is this? And then I had a lot of wood problems with the wood. So I was just like, okay. Yeah, well, they wanted a budget wax pencil, but they like so failed on that. They aren't even budget. Like, I'm sorry, Prisma is more budget. Heck, I can go buy a ton of Prismas. Let's see. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch out colors. Oh, where's my purples? So what did I have? I had deep rose. Ooh, or do I want thistle? No, I want deep rose. Okay. And then where's my other ones? Oh, and fuchsia. I do have some carmine pink, but I'm not sure on that one yet. Chunky monkey. It's just how I like relate, or I've always explained Derwent pencils. I'm like, I don't know, they're chunky monkey. That's just how it rolls. Okay, where do I want to start? Oh, so much on the page. I think, oh, you know what? I think I want to make these. Hang on. We're doing blue for a second because I want these ones coming right off his, I don't know, brow. Like maybe this is like his eyelid and this little thing of leaves here is his like eyebrows. I don't know. But I want these to be blue. So let's see how that works out. Don't worry, it's only permanent if I hate it. Something about Inktense, you really gotta like be ready to just commit. There's no lifting, no reactivating. You can erase them while they're dry though, but Inktense really don't show what they're made of until they're activated. So by then you're like, well, crap. That looks awful. You can, however, cover them up with another Inktense or shade out with another pencil. Who's got time for that? Okay, I think I got that spray right there. I think that's, what the heck is that? An opening? I don't know. So confusing. Let's see. Send all the chroma flows to Esky. She likes them. I think my problem with ChromaFlow is just I had much higher expectations. So when I went to use them, I was like, oh, these are nothing like I expected in terms of quality and just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like I always say, just freaking make 100 drawing pencils, Derwent. I don't know how many times people have asked you to do it. Just do it. Just think of the money you'll make because everyone will buy them. All right, so I'm gonna take this because this indigo. I'm gonna have to put my. So I'm gonna have to wipe off my nib a lot more because I'm using the indigo color, and once that attaches to a Tombow nib, it don't come off until you wipe it off. So I'm like, but I want my lighter blue to show through. Hey, look at that. I made a rhyme. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that. I like it. There's gonna be a lot of wiping this off. It's almost like using a water brush for this part. It's like when you use a water brush with Inktense, you have to wipe it off quite a bit. I shouldn't say have to. You probably want to, but you don't have to. Okay, and then this one, I want the blue to kind of just meld into there. There. Ooh, I like it. Actually, I really like it. That blue probably doesn't pop as much for you guys on camera, but in person, it definitely pops really nicely. An art box you just got around to. I've got a lot of art boxes like that, so you're not alone. Trying to debate if this, I think this is just a flat out opening here. Wonder, okay, this side goes like that. So yeah, I think we'll do same thing. I want to get some of my other colors in as well. So I'm going to get this one going first. Just kind of fill this in with my greens. Guess I could zoom you in more so you can see how I activate these, but oof, my zoom is so touchy. Oh, so touchy. All right, there we go. Okay. And so now I'm just kind of getting more of his forehead, we'll call it. And you, excuse me, you can put a second layer down, but you have to wait till these are dry. And like these leaves are here are damp. You could also just like pull the color off the tip if there's just something specific you're trying to fix. Okay. Look at that cute little leaf just floating away. And I am using light pressure. Like I never use heavy pressure with these, unlike how I use every other pencil in my life. But that's because you don't want to like drive the tooth or the color. Gosh, this cough. You don't want to drive the pigment into the tooth of your paper because it won't dissolve, no matter what you're using. Okay, let's see. We'll get some teal, just a little bit in here. I think I'm going to drag those because they're bigger. All right, let's see here. Oh, that's working out. Okay. So see how it drags with the Tombow? You won't get a drag like this if you're using an alcohol colorless blender. I get very hyper focused when I'm activating these. It's like crickets because I'm like, I need to focus. I need this color to blend. Especially right now because I'll have to sit here and wait for these to dry to fix it. Let's see. Excuse me. Oh, the puppies. Oh, funny you should ask. So, I think I mentioned it on the Tuesday live stream, but I'm gonna make this one blue. Yes, we were waiting. Like Harper had to go in on Thursday, and we were going to see if she could get her cast off. Which I was like, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. Not just being negative Nancy. It's just she has broken tibia and fibia, so it's not like they repair that quickly. But I went to the vet to pick her up, and they're like, hang on, the vet needs to talk to you about Harper's leg. And I was like, oh, crap. Like, I thought they were going to be like, she needs surgery or something. But like, no. But she goes, hey, so we took the cast off, and her leg is they did an x-ray, and the bone is completely healed. The only bummer is, I mean, not bummer, but she still has buckshot pellets in her leg, and they're just not going to go in and remove them, because if they go in and remove it, they'll do more damage than good. Like they'll harm her ligaments and whatnot. So they're just leaving the buckshot in there. But she's like, yep, the fracture is good. The only thing is she's got some like rubbing sores from her cast or splint or whatever you want to call it. So those have to heal. So she's on antibiotics for those. And then, yeah, she should be, let's see, she's getting spayed on Monday, which she's probably not very happy about, but she still is on, doggy bed rest for a little while anyways. So she still has to be kenneled. They still want her to keep it easy. Like, they don't want her to just, like, go freaking run around like crazy, because they did just take it off. But she won't even, like, walk on the leg completely anyway. Like, you can tell it's going to take a while for her brain to be like, oh, I can walk on my leg again. Interesting. But yeah, no cast, and that's a big relief, because that freaking thing was stressful. Yeah, I'm free, and then I'm like, no, you're not. Actually, get back in the kennel. So, and you're getting spayed on Monday. Let's just do this all at once. So yeah, she's probably gonna be very happy with me, but I think yeah, okay, I'm gonna do these bigger leaves and the purples, smaller leaves with some blues, and then I'm just gonna mix them, because why not? Yeah, why not? Sure. Let's try these ones up here. See what these look like. But yeah, she's cast free, so thank gosh, because that was killing me. Like, the cast was killing all of us, because just couldn't get it wet. There's so many rules. Ugh, it was like my daughter when she had her leg casted, only at least you could like explain to her, hey, you're in a cast, but this is why. Whereas with the dog, yeah, the dog don't care. The dog just thinks I'm being evil. So it was quite the pain. She still doesn't understand why she's stuck in a kennel though. And I don't blame her, because she's like, okay, the cast is off. I should be free, but no. Oh, that poor dog. Have fun, Melissa. Oh, yeah. It's good that the cast is off. And then, like I said, since she already has to, like, recover 10 days with the cast off while staying in the kennel, just so that, she doesn't go, like, running like crazy with her sisters outside and re-break something or something like that. And then she's on heavy antibiotics, because one of her parts of her leg where the cast or splint kind of rubbed against her skin, it created a pretty good like sore, almost kind of like a bed sore. So she's on antibiotics till that resolves as well. But like, it's all like good news. Like, yeah. And I mean, this spay will only keep her down for a little bit, because we've spayed all our dogs, and I'm going to tell you right now, none of them sat still for 10 days. They were like, I'm done by day 4. All right, whatever. Off you go. But the only bummer is she's going to need a ton of rehabilitation, because she's like super skittish. Like, if you even like get out of your chair too fast, she like freaks out. Like, what the heck are you doing? So since my son's soccer has started, I'm gonna take her to the soccer games and kind of like get her out in public and around loud noises, because we definitely got to fix that. Because yeah, she startles so easily now, and she already had that a little bit before, but now it's like to the extreme. Like, just moving quickly freaks her out. So that'll be a fun retrain for sure. But that's on top of all the training I planned on doing. Like, So I'm like, oh, okay, more things. Let's see. Um, oh yeah, when she's in the kennel, so Indy, the one that got hurt with her, they're like, partners in crime now, I guess. But Indy will like sometimes lay by the kennel or lay next to the kennel with her. But the problem is Harper gets a little snarky. If she's not in the mood, like she'll legit like growl and bark if they come near her kennel. She just wants to be left alone, but it's because she's on so many meds that leave her so sleepy. Yeah, once she's off the meds and she can like actually like process her own thoughts while not being totally doped up, I think it'll be easier. But Indy usually sleeps by her. Scout doesn't, but that's because Scout likes to just go off and pout. Because every time we get a new dog, she thinks she's being replaced. So I think I'll do. Let's do it. No, let's do this screen here. And then Akira doesn't go anywhere near her kennel because her and Akira don't get along right now. I was working on that before this happened. So, gotta start that over. Oh, you know what? It's already. I'll tell you what. So what I'm going to do is let me get over to my Nightbot real quick. Let me zoom this darn thing out one more time. There you go. Okay. All right. Let me get over to my Nightbot. So I'm going to go ahead and run the giveaway. So again, if you haven't already, I'll give you a second to do it, but you want to type in Tree Man, just like Nightbot literally just said in the chat. And then I am just going to let Nightbot do its thing, and it'll do a random pick of whomever has used the keyword. Again, you only have to use it once, and then we will see who wins. So let's give everyone just a second. Hi, Connie. But yeah, I mean, like, if you already have the book, don't enter. Leave it for those who like don't or want the book or stuff like that. But and then yeah, we'll work out getting it shipped to you depending on where you live. But okay, I am gonna run it now because it has been going for a wee bit. So let me get over to my Nightbot. Make sure it's all set up right. Okay, so it looks like it is Mona. So Mona won a copy of, I keep wanting to say Mythographic, but Mythomorphia. So congrats, Mona. Okay, so Mona, do you know my email address by chance? If not, I know Melissa just left, but maybe one of my other mods can type in my email. Just shoot me an email today, and then we will work out getting your copy over to you. I think Erica could probably type in my email for me real quick. But yes, congrats. I actually really like this book. It's become my favorite now. Which is weird because I was like, no, I'm all about worlds within worlds. And then I'm like looking through this one. It's like, I could color every single page in here. I think that's a leaf. But yeah, just make sure you email me today. And then that way, and then anyone watching this on replay, the giveaway is obviously closed. It was only for the live stream. So I get the occasional entries in the comments, but I just want to make sure that's clear. Like, it's only just now. So And I even turned off Nightbot so it won't keep asking or telling you the prompt. But let's see. Or actually, Mona, aren't you in my Discord? I think you are. You can also message me in there. I can't ever remember. All right. Let's try the iron green again. So now this part, I'm like, can't see his little thing there. Oh, thank you. I'm really enjoying. I like Inktense. They're so fun. And they're really fun in Kerby books. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out. I think I'm going to do the same thing for his beard thing. So, like, I'm kind of picturing this as a mustache, like this leaf here, and this leaf here, and this one up here, and here. And this is like his little, what's that called? It's not a beard, it's like a soul patch or whatever they call it. But, yeah, I think we're going to do those in the blue color because that's what we were doing his eyebrows. So let me do his facial hair because I don't know how else to put it. It's his facial leaves. And all I'm using is deep indigo and dark aquamarine. And I only went with the aquamarine because I'm using this tealish color here. So I wanted to kind of bring that in. Let's see. Yes, I know. I want the new colors too. Apparently they ship to Australia. That makes me even sour. More sour. But at least you can get them open stock. Like, at least they're not forcing you to buy like a whole set, or like repurchase a set of like 100 to get those. So I do appreciate that they thought that through. It's kind of like they did with the Light Fest. They had the 72, and then they're like, "Hey, here's these these 28 to make 100." Okay, you are in the Discord. Yeah. Do you know how to private message in Discord? Because you can just private message me in there, and that'll work just as well. And then I'll get your shipping info and send that out on Monday. It's so funny. So I don't know if is anyone else like Sunday is their day to like just chill and do whatever they want. And like just the kids can do their chores, but like Sunday is my day to just do nothing. And so my husband's like, I'm gonna clean out the garage. Do you want to help? And I was like, what's today? Sunday? That answer would be a no. Also, I don't touch the garage. That's not my area. like Like after my streams, I'm usually like, oh, I need to go lay down. Let's see. I saw someone ask a question. There's the chill day. There is for me on Sunday, but that's just because my job is so stressful that I need like a mental health day on Sunday. Otherwise, I'm going to have a snap on Monday. Plus, like, just the stress of, I don't know what it is, but kids totally reset on Monday morning and forget how to get ready for school. Oh my gosh. Why? And then let's see, Sunday in chat, named Sunday, asked if anyone was reading anything this month. Ooh. I'm actually reading, I'm still working on the whole George R.R. Martin series, so I'm still on that. I'm only on book 2 now. And I say only, but if you've ever read those books, you know that even getting to book 2 is a feat because those things are forever long. Like, and on my Kindle, since I have the first 4 I bought as a pack a while back, it counts them all in my word count. So I'll like finish the first book and I'm like, dang, I'm finally done. I got the first book done. And Kindle's like, you're 20% through. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm reading that and I listen to it on audio as well. But I really am not the biggest fan of the narrator. Only because he makes everyone sound so old and crusty. I don't know. Bye, Claire. Them are big books. They really are. Like, I wanted to buy the hard copies for a long time, and then I was like, no, that's just madness. Where am I going to put these things? It's not like buying the Hobbit series, okay? Those can fit on a bookshelf neatly. These things, like, require a freaking crane. They are pretty, though. I want to go back to reading The Witcher, but what happened was I had started reading it, and I started with the first book. And I don't know if anyone here has read the Witcher books, but the first one is flippin' awful. Makes like no sense. You're like, what is going on? It's just all these like stories converging and then not making any sense. I don't know. But book two supposedly gets better. I'm just like, oh, I got to get through the first one, and I don't have the mental power yet. I might get that one on audiobook or something. Maybe that'll be easier. So Mona, just click my name in Discord, um, and then or right click it, and then you'll see an option to message, and that's what you want to do. Your name really is Sunday, according to your mom. Let's see. I'm reading The Girl in the Spider's Web. I haven't even heard of that one. Curious. Let me scroll up and see if anyone else is reading anything. No, no one else has said what they're reading, but Mona, don't worry. If you can't figure it out, I'll message you after the stream. But yeah, you just find my name, right click, and then you'll see an option to send message or something along those words. Let's see, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. Oh, you know what? Thank you for reminding me. I actually really want to read that. I really, really do. And I keep forgetting every time I gotta buy a book or rent with my Kindle Unlimited. Unlimited is nice lately. I remember when I first had Unlimited, the book choices were like crap. So I was like, it's like this isn't really worth the free that you guys are throwing out there. But they actually have some good ones now on there for free, including some classics. But yeah, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, that was one that's on my list, I think. Oh, so many books. But it's like so hard because okay, like free time, right? And let's say with big fat free time quotes cuz I got like no free time, I feel. So like you kind of, it's like okay, after a long day, do I want to sit and read? Do I want to color? Like a lot of nights I'll sit and read and that helps me like relax. Even the whole freaking Game of Thrones series. Yes, I know it's not called Game of Thrones. I just say that because it's a lot more recognizable to those who don't actually know the name of the series. But like that one actually relaxes me despite the fact that it's quite intense. But I think it's because I've seen the show, so a lot of things aren't like I'm not reading to be like, ooh, what happens to Bran? I already know what has happened, sort of. The books do eventually go off on their own path, but you know what I mean. The suspense isn't there, so you can kind of like read and relax. Let's see what else. Anita Blake. I haven't tried that one either. I need to. Ooh, John Grisham. He used to be one of my favorites. I used to read every book he released. Back in the day, when we all used to go to libraries to get our books, I would always go there and grab his books and read those. John Grisham and James Patterson are one of my favorites. Always have been. I love fantasy novels, but like my one true love is mystery and thrillers. because I just like it. You know what? Now I'm starting to think this one back here is also part of his little tree stash. I don't know though. Debatable. Oh, so Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I really, really want to read that one, right? Like I've heard great things, but I'm like Stephen King and I aren't always on the best of terms, but is the fairy tale one more like on his horror side, what Stephen King's known for? Dude, that guy's brain is insane. The things he thinks of. And fun fact, Stephen King is a pantser. If you don't know what that means, it's just a writer that literally writes by the, seat of their pants. They don't outline, they don't plan. And the crap that guy comes up with, like this stuff is just floating out in his brain and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just going to throw this in there and see where it goes." He's like infamous for doing pantsing while he writes, or his style. So seriously, I want to like just one day like live in his brain. I mean, just imagine what goes through that guy's head. But yeah, I do want to read Fairy Tale. I just don't know if it's going to be like you know, I don't know, super creepy and like something I can't read at night, or is it going to be kind of more tame, I guess is the way I'm putting it. Because he has those books that are more tame and not like, "Ah, crap, no, I'm not going to go to sleep tonight because every little bump in the night is going to give me a, wake me up." Um, let's see. Oh, you liked it, Shannon? I'll have to take a look then, because yeah, it's on my list. I mean, I do love Stephen King, but like, if it's his creepier ones, like I have to read those in the daytime. Yeah, I'm like a little kid in that sense. I can't go to sleep at night. I'll need my whoopee. But some of his stuff is nuts. But hey, he's made it work. I'm coloring in a leaf mustache. There's got to be a more clever way to say that. But I'm on lack of sleep. My son was up till like I accidentally fell asleep watching TV, and then I woke up and his friend and him were still doing Oculus at like midnight. And his friend was here at the house, and I was like, "Don't your parents want you home by now?" It's like 12:15 in the morning. So either I'm a really old, like strict mom, or I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Reacher books. I like psychological thrillers, but I don't like this straight up like horror style writing. Because to me, there's a pretty big diff when it comes to psychological thrillers versus just straight up like gutting things. Because there's a few psychological thrillers out there that I freaking loved. But yeah, and then there's others where I'm like, this is just, yeah, this is a horror book. So definitely depends. Let's see. The Reacher series. That's the thing. There's so many books out there. Oh man. And again, it's like, do I do I want to buy the audiobook and listen to it? Do I want to read it? So, some books, like for example, going through all of George R. R. Martin's, I have the books, but I also have the audiobooks. Like, there's just no way I can sit there and read all of that. Like, there's times I want to be coloring or diamond painting and just listen to it. Because, yeah, otherwise, if I just strictly read his books, I would probably not finish till like 5 years from now. But that man is so descriptive in his world building. Whew. The dude created religions and languages. It's nuts. Hi, Christina. Yeah, I did the giveaway already about, oh gosh, what, maybe 20 minutes ago? I usually try to do them. I already activated that one. No, I didn't. I usually try to do them about half-ish way through. But yes. Now next Sunday, I will also be doing a Kerby page. Not sure what. Gotta think on that. And then let's see, Tuesday is another community hangout, this time with pastel colored pencils. That'll be fun. It'll be springish, even though I just heard that it's gonna snow again in Utah. I'm like, come on, Utah. Let there be sun. Although I don't want like any heat right now because my air conditioner broke and I need that to get fixed ASAP in my car, which is supposed to happen on Thursday. Let's see. Oh, it's fine, Mona. I'll take a look. Have I been writing, Kelly? Yes, yes. So some of you may or may not know, I wrote a novel a long time ago and I'm kind of redoing it and piecing it out and keeping what I like and just, yeah. I'm basically tearing it apart. But um honestly, this week and last week I haven't done any writing. The week before that I did. I've been, like I said, I've just been so swamped because I'm doing my job, but then I'm also dog training right now and getting my certification for that. So it's taking up a lot of my free time, unfortunately. Um, that's why I always put the big quotes, free time, haha. And then my son's soccer league is back up, so there goes what free time I had. But I do want to keep working on it. Like I had originally set a goal to just write daily for an hour. And I kind of failed at that, I'll be honest, because it was like I would have to choose between like working out, doing something for myself, or writing. And I was like, I don't like this game. So I'm hoping things will calm down. I'm actually gonna restart the Whip Wednesday series this week. I meant to do it last week, so I'll explain it more there. But yeah, I need to find a way to get some time in my life to complete some of my things I want to get done. Don't we all have that problem though? I mean, jeez. Let's see. Yeah, send you the snow. I'll freaking ship that snow. I don't care how much it costs. Um, but yeah, like seriously, we got up to 75, and then this past Friday it was flipping snowing. Like I'm sitting there just like, are we really doing this right now? Not Friday, it was Thursday. But yeah, covered in snow, and then it's melting, and so we're getting tons of floods in Utah. Like everyone's flooding. Ugh. But hey, we had a drought, so I mean, pick one or the other, right? Lots of liquid or none. I'll just go for the lots, but really don't want my basement that I just finished to flood because, well, that would really just finalize that 2023 I'm done with. Like, and ready for next year. Let's see. I've been working in the yard for 2 weeks. Oh, I need to work in the yard. But that's the problem right now. Okay, so like right in front of me, which is my window, they're building that ugly monstrosity of a high school. Oh my god, it's so hideous. Whoever designed that thing needs to seriously be fired and get a new career. That's all I'm saying. But it's there. I'm stuck looking at it. So I've got whatchamacallit. What was I even saying? Lost my train of thought. I was trying to read everything and then I lost my train of thought. It's been one of those days. Oh, but yard. So yeah, the high school is going right there. So I want to plant these. They're called Cleveland pear trees. Um, and so yeah, something about the ugly school. So I want to put these Cleveland pear trees in my mow strip, which will kind of blossom, and they're really pretty trees. Like Google them, they're gorgeous. So I want to put those up, but I can't because it's like 1 minute we've got optimal planting, another minute the ground is like freezing again and full of snow, and I'm like, ugh. But you want to get those in at the start of spring. You can do it at the end of like fall, but our falls are normally really unpredictable. Although now spring seems to be that way. So I'm hoping maybe I don't know, end of April I can get those trees in so they can start growing. They're so pretty. They're fluffy. They're white. That's fine, Mona. I'll take a look when I'm done here. But and what's funny is they're just flowering trees. Like they don't actually produce pears. They just flower. Because when my landscaper was like, "Yeah, just do these," I'm like, "Well, I don't want fruit trees in my front yard, dude." Like, could you imagine like if you don't pluck the fruit or they just fall? Oh, the mess. He's like, "No, no, they're just flowering. They don't actually like sprout pears." I'm like, okay, well then they should rename that. Just a thought. But they're really pretty. They like get all white and fluffy in the spring, and then they turn to these gorgeous red and orange colors in the fall. So one day they will be up there blocking that nasty looking high school that they're building. Ugh. It seriously is ugly. I don't understand the design choices. Let's see. And it's not as far back either as we were told it was going to be. It feels like it's awfully close to the street. But it could be because of all the construction, like that's out there. It just feels closer. But yeah, it's going to be built no matter what. And at this point, I would rather it just be done already because the construction is just annoying. But I'm really hoping the cinder block that they have up is going to get painted or something because that's, yeah, please don't tell me I'm going to be staring at cinder block. It's so ugly. Let's see, similar to crabapple trees. Yeah, pretty much. The Bradford pear, I remember looking those ones up. But yeah, once I looked up the Cleveland pear, I was like, "Ooh, these are just too pretty. I can't say no to this." And they're pretty low maintenance. That was my other thing because I'm not a gardener. I just basically kill anything potted. So I'm like, oh. But I did. I've been looking around to see kind of like what the prices are on those, and I'm like ready to buy it. I just can't because, yeah, like I said, it's gonna snow again soon, so I can't go planting them again. But maybe in a few weeks. Hi, Jamie. I know there's some high schools that seriously look like a prison. I'm like, y'all want the kids to be excited to go there, right? Like, you're not helping. But I think it just, the old school design was, throw up some cinder block, a lot of metal. Gosh, where I grew up in California, there was bars on the window. It's like, this is not helping. But I don't know. I bet you it'll look nicer. It's just got a funky, like, almost reminds me of like the 70s style architecture. A lot of wood and metal. And then of course a bunch of cinder block in the back. So I'm like, how does this work? But I don't know. It'll probably look really pretty, right? I mean, it's a brand new school. If it turned out super hideous, I'm pretty sure everyone would be ticked, but guess I'll know in not this fall, but next is supposed to be when it opens. And that's the year my son goes to school or high school. So I can just kick his butt out the door and off he goes. Actually, like in Utah, it's weird. So your freshman year of high school is still at junior high. So, I mean, technically he's in high school next year, but he's at the junior high school. I don't get it. I come from the land of California where high school is all done at high school. Sounds kind of strange to me. Yeah, in California, that's because of the LA riots. That's why there's a lot of bars, especially in Southern California, closer to the LA area. People barred their windows from the riots and just never unbarred them. And then there's some spots in Northern California as well, that like Oakland and stuff. But California is kind of funny. There's like just these little pockets of everything. You like take one wrong exit and you're in a really bad area, but the next exit over is really nice. It's just so funny how it works out. At least from the area I'm from, I should say. Southern California. Although I guess Northern is probably like that too. Oh, how weird. A prison and a high school right next to each other? That'd be that'd be weird. That would be, I don't know if I'd be down for that. Plus, like, don't you have to have, like, there's rules about how many feet away certain people you have to be, but I guess if they're locked in prison, doesn't matter. That's still weird, though. Like, yeah, no, we're doing a boundary exception. All right, get this side of his leaf stash. Ooh. There we go. Oh, and before I forget, so I did put in my Discord, I am selling my Holbeins. I'm just going in the order that I'm contacted, though. So whoever contacts me first, I chat with first. I'm trying to keep it as fair as possible. But I had a few of you like message me, and I haven't gotten back to all my emails and messages this weekend because it's just been busy. But that's the deal. Like whoever emails or messages or whatever first is the first person I talk to. And then if I don't hear back from them after a little bit, or they're just like, oh, I don't want to pay that shipping, then I move on to the next. So I'm just going in order. But I do need to check on my email because I think the next person in line did respond. Oh, thank you, Mona. So there's a fun fact. Where I grew up, okay, it's a college now, but it used to be a mental institution, and actually used to be like, we'd all claim it was haunted, but what happened was it was like in the 50s or 60s, it caught fire. And so the only way to save the patients in the institution was to literally like just let them loose. They let them loose in the public, and then they just planned on, picking them up later. Sounds like a solid plan, right? But the only ones they didn't let loose are like the ones that were, like known to be violent and stuff. But yeah, so after that fire, it was just abandoned, and it sat up on this hill up in our hometown forever. And then one day they're like, you know what? We're turning this into a college. And I was like, okay. But they have housing there. My friend lived on campus, and I went to visit him. I don't know. That place just gives me the EBGBs. Like, I don't know. I couldn't go to school there, let alone live on that campus, but a lot of people do, but it was just so creepy. I know, right? It just you hear mental institution and you're like, that place is haunted. TV has taught me this. All those scary movies. But yeah, and then the fact that they just like let patients loose and they're like, well, we'll round them up later. I mean, granted, they didn't want them to just, die, but still, I'm like, that is so freaking weird. But yeah, now it's like a little, is it a college or I think it's actually a university. It might be a branch off of one of the UCs, but it was just nuts when they decided and announced that. I was like, no way, who's gonna attend that? But and they didn't tear down the building. They like kept the old structure and then just remodeled the inside. So that makes it even creepier. I'm like, no. Getting these little leaf eyebrows. Gosh, I feel like my eyebrows look like this right now. I need to pluck my eyebrows. They're not blue. At least I got that going. I know, it sounds like a setting for a movie, right? Yeah. Like I said, I have some friends that went there and even lived on campus, and I'm like, you guys are nuts. I'm not going anywhere near that place. But gotta use the property somehow, I guess. But yeah, usually like stories like that, that's like how freaking horror movies start out. They're like, yeah, it was a mental institution. Now it's a school, and then all sorts of freaky things start happening. Yeah, not for me. All right, here we go. We are looking good. I know we got more blue and teal right now than we do purple and stuff, but that's just mainly because I'm trying to, as Tanya put it, decipher the page. Because it's like, okay, I think that's tree there. I think, yeah, like I said, I think this is kind of like a mustache and a little soul patch. Eyebrows. All right, this eyebrow looks, I think this one needs to go all the way up here. Because otherwise his eyebrows are crooked. Thanks, Frederica. I'm afraid of a lot of things. Big wuss right here. I remember one time because we have a home security system and my husband was at work and it went off. And so I went to check my phone to see what was setting it off, and it said our shatterproof, because we have like these sensors that detect shattered glass. So like if someone breaks a window, it's gonna go off basically. Does not look like a leaf back there. And so it was the basement shatter thing going off, and I was like, oh my gosh, someone's trying to kick in the basement window. And I was like terrified. And then I've got huskies, they don't protect for crap. They don't care. But I took Scout with me anyway. So she could, I don't know, lick the burglar to death. But I get down there, and what had happened was we had a pretty bad windstorm, and our neighbors' like cushions from their patio set had blown over, and they were banging up against the window, and they had banged hard enough to make the shatter thing go off, because the shatter thing will go off even if the glass hasn't broke. It'll start going off like if someone's tapping it, um, as a way to deter someone from actually breaking the window. But oh my gosh, I was like scared. And there was one time at my old house, I'm sure I mentioned this on a Whip Wednesday, but there was this loud crash in the middle of the night, and I had to call my husband because, yep, he was at work. And I was like, someone's in the house. There was a loud crash. And I'm looking around, and it turned out all the shelves in my art studio had collapsed under the pressure of all the books I had. And yeah, and none of my kids woke up for it. That's what's nuts. I'm like, holy crap. But I mean, everything on those shelves came collapsing down. I think we're sort of even, but he's missing like a something there. I know they do look kind of creepy, but we'll see what color I end up doing the eyes. One thing though is trying to debate. I think I'm gonna make this just dark in here. There's no leaves in there. Dang it, Kerby. Make this easier. Let's see. Anything going crashing in the night while you're like half asleep is just the worst. Cause you're not like if it happened during the day, you'd be like, oh, that sounds like something broke. But when you're woken up to it, you're like, someone's breaking in. Cause that's just how it goes. Cause I'm not gonna think at like, 1 or 2 in the morning that my craft room decided to collapse. No, I'm gonna think the worst. That's just how it's gonna be. But luckily, it was just a bunch of pencils and books. Yep, my pencils were included in that. I was like, oh, they're all gonna be broken, but they were actually just fine. Don't worry, my Prismas weren't there because they're always in their special little place. Nobody puts my babies in the corner. Okay. It's kind of odd how he has like a bunch of leaves there, but then, oh, that leaf probably need to be blue. Now that I'm looking at it more, these look like a leaf as well. Well, yeah. It's like, I'll have to like keep coloring this and then like stepping away and being like, I think that is a tree. So this page will take me a while simply because I'm going to have to keep stopping and like standing up and staring at it and being like, no, that's a tree. Or that's part of the background or something. I don't know. Because it's not like a hard page. It's just very complex. Thanks, Caddy. Oh gosh, no, if my prismas fell, I'd be sitting there with a heat pad repairing those for days. And I would save my babies. But no, my prismas are always like usually in my room. And then I have the spares up here in this new craft room, but they are definitely not on a shelf. Are you kidding me? I wonder how much that bucket weighs. That'd be a fun little Instagram post to weigh my bucket of Prisma spares. I'm pretty sure it's like 30 pounds. Because, yep, it's full to the brim. Like, I went to put some extras that I had gotten out of I grabbed a set on sale on Amazon, and I was running out of space, and I'm like, okay. And yet, I'm still short on Dahlia Purple somehow. First world problems, right? These ghosts don't like my prismas. Alright, I think. Oh, then we got some of these here. Alright, I think I'm gonna actually. I am gonna stick with the parts that I definitely know what they are. Yeah, I know that's what sucks. Like some other areas of the world, they are so expensive. Whereas out here in the US, they're easy to get. I mean, heck, I can run over to the craft store if I need to. Well, some of them. But yeah, I know like other parts of the world, they're really expensive. Whereas out here, like I said, I joke they're my budget pencil. I'm like, I don't need a budget pencil. I got Christmas. Because open stock, they're like $1.12 a piece, as long as you buy 12 or more from Blick, which I can easily do. So I can easily find 12 that I need. It's always crazy, like how different places, it's different, like with what pencils you can get your hands on easier. But it's kind of like, for example, the Inktense. Right now, we can't get them in the US, but if you're in the UK or apparently the other countries they ship to, like Australia, from their UK site, you can get them there. Pricing wise, though, not the same. These actually lay down really smooth on Kerby paper, by the way, when they're dry. I just got my first full set of Prismas yesterday. Ooh. So you got a whole 150 set? So my first Prisma set was the 132 set. Because back then, when I was first getting into coloring, I did not have full set syndrome. I was like, oh, I want to test these out, see if I like them. And I liked some of the colors that came in that set. So I did that, and then I really liked them. So I asked my husband for my birthday if I could get the 150 set. And thus was born my ridiculous open stock storage, because then I was like, well, I already have these colors. I'll just put them in this little bin here. And then, yep, now I go through them so quickly that I have a whole little container thing going on. What's funny though is when I first got Prismas, I did not like them right away, but it was because I was using Marco Raffine, and anyone who's used Marco Raffine and Prisma, I'm assuming you can understand the complete opposites that they are. So that was my thing. I was like, these are nothing like this. I can't even use these. And then once I learned how to use them, I was like, oh my gosh, why would I use any other pencil? And yep, still to this day. Oh, what color is that gonna be? See, now he's got these coming down here. I almost want to make those blue as well. But I gotta get my purples in. Oh, the choices. The thoughts that have to go through our head, right? Well, I'm already at 2 hours today, so I think I'm going to call it. Go rest and get ready for Monday. But yeah, this is the progress so far. I will take a picture so you can see some of the colors, because my camera doesn't always show up. But actually, this blue, I really like how it's contrasting right in here. So I'll take a picture, share it on my community tab, and then I'll put it in my Instagram stories. And then, yeah, I'll just keep working on this. Maybe I'll finish it on video in like a not live stream, because I'll be doing a different page next Sunday. But keep an eye out for others that are participating in the 2 weeks with Kerby event hosted by Shannon. Because I know there's quite a few others that'll be streaming or premiering or just posting their videos, and then of course on Instagram. So thank you, Shannon, for forcing me to open a Kerby book, and now I'm like, I want to color every single page in this book. So, look what's happened. But thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will catch you all very soon. So until next time, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Bye.